He's early and he's ready to go. He's on the Tom Coughlin scale. Tom Coughlin, the former head coach of the New York Giants, where Tom Coughlin would do meetings, basically Tom Coughlin would be, if you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, then the door's closed and you can't come in. That's how Logan treats the interviews when he comes on with us here to break everything down in the USL-W, and we've had him on in the past, but it's great to have Logan on. We'll bring him in now. Coach, so how's Asheville?
It's great. Beautiful morning. A lot cooler than it was in Nashville. We're enjoying girls went on a nice walk this morning with our athletic coach, and we're ready to go. So
when you look back at this season, and I will discuss the last matchup of the regular season as a part of this whole dynamic, but when you look back at this season on the whole with what you've been able to accomplish as a group there, I know expectations are always high, but now that you've come out the other side of the regular season, have you had time to think about everything that how the players have continued to develop and grow and all that kind of stuff? How much thought have you put into the regular season and what you've accomplished to this point?
Yeah, I spoke to the girls after the last session before the playoffs, of just commending them on their professionalism, no matter my biggest job, not so much putting a team on the field, but can I create a consistent environment for the players? And just like every other USL team in the league, we obviously always get hit with some sort of inconsistency somewhere along the way, whether it's traffic on the way to a stadium or the silliness that can happen in summer football. So certainly commend the players massively on their professionalism, no matter the environment, no matter the situation, no matter the quality of the field, the mile walk from the locker room, whatever it may be. They've certainly handled themselves well. As far as the good thing about creating that consistent environment here is, we've had a lot of chopping and changing of the lineup this year. Certainly not as consistent core of players. The spine has stayed the same, but we've rotated strikers. We've had to rotate centre backs multiple times, but they just gel immediately because, again, myself, my coaching staff, and what we're able to do as a club in creating that consistent environment and getting the girls. They always know what's expected, whether they're making their debut or whether they're 2-3 year returners with us. So season as a whole, extremely proud again of making steps forward. I think the Asheville game, and I know we'll talk about it, was a small blip, but again, every year we want to improve. Every year we want to grow on the previous year, and again, beat goals scored better than last year, goals given up better than last year, record better than last year. So and feeling extremely confident as a group going into the playoffs.
All right, time to brag on your players a little bit. For those that haven't had the chance to see what you've been able to do this year, you're looking at players like Anna Haddock from Auburn, Alabama commit Maddie Podolsky, Vandy alum Tayana Tollison between the sticks. For those who haven't had the chance to see you and will be ducking in to see you the first time today, what should folks expect? Style of play and names to gravitate toward?
I'd like to say most fans enjoy watching us play football. We're certainly not a direct team. We can go direct if we need to, but our midfield is by far best midfield in the league. And again, not even your Anna Haddocks, but Ryan Molinar, Keaton Mitchell. Ryan just came back to us from a stint in Austria. She played at Pacific University in California. Phenomenal technically. Keaton Mitchell going into her sophomore year at Tennessee. She's a TSC alumni. Again, phenomenal technical players in midfield. Got a little bit of grit to them as well. So love that. We can break up play and really get after teams if we need to be physical. But again, our style, and whether it's getting the ball out wide and taking players on, or whether it's combination play through midfield, I'd like to think most fans, if they're new to watching us and today's their first exposure to TSC, will enjoy the way we play.
What's it been like for you to see TSC evolve and be this presence in the USL-W league that you are, considering that if you look at the power rankings, you've always been up toward the top. Folks are, gravitating towards you when they look at wins and losses and standings and position and things like that. What's it been like to see TSC grow to where it's garnering attention from a national scale in the USL-W league?
Probably my greatest accomplishment in the game, whether as a player or a coach, has been able to take this franchise to the next level. Hopefully I don't sound too confident in saying that, but I do believe not only the work that I've put in, but the work that my coaching staff has put in, the people I've been able to bring in, players and coaches, have done countless hours of work to get this franchise to the next level. We're still growing as a club. We know that. From a budget perspective, from a stadium perspective, from training ground. And again, as all that stuff is added to the franchise, we'll only get better with it. Because again, going back to what I said about creating a consistent environment for the players, the more consistent we're able to create, more consistency we're able to create for the players, they're only going to grow and be better and better and better. So, for us to be doing what we're doing in the power rankings, in the conference, with our budget, and we spoke about that the last time we spoke, we don't have the infrastructure of a Chattanooga, of a Indy 11, of a Lexington, of an Aurora. So for us to be able to do what we do, and put up the results that we put up and play the way we play is 100% down to my coaching staff and the players. And as we add to the franchise, we're only going to get better.
Logan Fisher, the head coach at Tennessee SC, going to play AHFC Royals at 4 o'clock this afternoon. UNC Asheville's Greenwood Field, Southern Conference playoffs. USL-W giving us a bit of a preview while he's catching a bit of a breather and having a bit of a sanity break, I guess. So sanity break, you come on and you talk about things on radio. What is the most difficult thing for you? You mentioned not having the same resources as a lot of the other big guns that you mentioned here in USL-W. What is the biggest challenge right now that you still face, even as you have taken this club to the next level?
Good question. I'd say, again, how do we create that environment of consistency for the players? That's a challenge every single day. We, along with every other club in this league, so I can't complain about it, will always struggle to keep every single player available at all times. Whether it's, I want the girls to be girls as well, right? Not everyone is a maniacal just addict to this game. So I understand that players want to go away and have little holidays. This year we had not so much that, but we had players get called up to the national team. That's difficult for us, but again, massive for our players and for our club. We had a couple of injuries, a couple bad ones that we obviously weren't expecting. Nobody does. So again, just creating that level of consistency. And as the franchise grows, I want to continue to give to the players and give them more of a professional environment. This is certainly a professional environment, don't get me wrong. What they get from us, from a training perspective, from a recovery perspective, is top notch. But you look at clubs like Greenville Liberty, for example, taking their players to hot yoga for recovery. I'd love to be able to do things like that. And again, that's going to be available now, right? We're growing the franchise. We're performing. We're at the getting national recognition. With that, sponsorship will come. With that, the ability to grow the infrastructure of USL at TSC will grow. We understand that. It was never going to be here's $2 million. Go build a franchise. We had to. This was really a build from the ground up. And again, the countless hours from the staff. From I have to shout out Dalton Kaufman, our USL director. The amount of hours he puts into growing this franchise is certainly recognized from not only the players but myself and the staff. And again, we will only get better performances will bring attention. Attention will bring sponsorship and infrastructure, and we will kick on every single season.
Matchup tonight or this afternoon is 4 o'clock against a team that is one of the stingiest defensively in the USL-W League. They've only given up 4 goals all season. Strong back line. What do you see? What has Study Hall been like getting ready for this one, or do you just focus on yourself that much more now?
No, we're focusing on ourselves for sure. We're not going to change. We never change on the opponent. I'm not a big fan. Again, we only have these girls for 2.5 months, so how consistent can we create the environment? And again, we play the same way no matter who we're playing, bottom of the table, top of the table. I think we're going to give them problems they probably don't expect. We've been able to do a lot of studying on them through our video analysis and through just being able to access more. Obviously, that conference have to thank them because they've done a great job of having televised events. So that makes our job a little bit easier. But we're certainly going to give them problems. I'd like to think our midfield is going to today will be. Are we good enough on the ball, and are they defensively able to take care of what we're able to bring in midfield? Because again, the way we play, the way we'll stretch them and pull them into places they're not going to want to defend will cause not only we cause every team problems with that, but I don't know, based on what I've seen, will they be able to adjust to that? Hopefully not. But again, we know the tools they've got. We know they've got phenomenal players. They've got youth national team players in their squad as well. So certainly not expecting a blowout one way or the other. It's going to be a tight game, but I'm fully confident that we're going to come through and get move on to the next round. So.
The team after you, Asheville City, they're coming up after you to talk about things. What would be your scouting report for somebody who's going to be seeing Asheville City for the first time in the matchup after yours when they take on Florida Elite? What do you see?
Tough to play. Well coached. Very well coached. Very good in wide areas. That's typically where they've caused us problems. But again, it just comes down to you can really, really tell that coaching staff has been able to, again, I'll say it for the 19th time today, create a consistent environment for them, right? They are very, very well coached. You can tell by their set pieces. You can tell by their patterns of play and the way they play. They're in the same boat as every team in the USL-W. They've had to rotate players. They've had to it's not the same 11 every single match. But you can tell that, again, top to bottom in their organization, they've been able to really preach and drill into them the way they want to play and the way they demand and expect results. And again, their play in wide areas is going to be tough for anybody to deal with in this run for the playoffs. So hoping they move on and beat Florida, because I'd love to have one more go at them for a conference title.
No doubt about it. As always, my friend, great to hear from you, and good luck this afternoon at 4 o'clock taking on AHFC Royals first round of the Southern Conference playoffs. We'll be keeping an eye on you and catch up with you on the flip side. Thanks for dropping by the morning show.
Yeah, thanks, John. All the best.